Good morning, students. Now we are in our first unit. We are about to complete it. And in this class, we will discuss the standard form of a language and some information about English as a language. We all know that English is the international language of our age and it is spoken all over the world. One can communicate in English without any serious difficulty even in our country. In around 25 countries, it is the official language. And it is said that the native speakers of English are around 3,500 lakh people. Actually, English evolved from its Germanic roots and it has borrowed words from many languages and it belongs to the Indo-European family of language. Indo-European family of language is the tree of which English is a part. भारोपियन भाषा परिवार से ये संबंधित है. When the Romans once in the history they captured Britain, but when they departed from Britain, the tribes from Germany occupied that area, and among those tribes, the three Jutes, Saxons, and Angles, they were the prominent ones. The Angles settled to the north, and later the term Angles became a common name for all people living in Britain. In the years, the word Angles was transformed into Ingles, and from which Inglesland was derived. And now, at present time, we have England as the country and English as the language. This language has adapted words from various languages. There are words from Greek, Roman, German, French, and the old Celtic language. In the early age, English was language of poor and illiterate people. It was spoken by illiterate section of society. But gradually it became language of lords and was accepted as the national language of England. For the Asian countries, it came up as a language of communication with the West. Without knowing English, there was no other way to communicate with West. The present importance of English is not due to its linguistic or aesthetic qualities. The prominence of language has nothing to do with its linguistic qualities, but political, economic, and geographical regions are the base of the prominence of a language. So we may say that English is not the best language, but due to certain political and economical reasons, it has become the international language. Very powerful, very strong among other languages. Its literature is accepted all over the world and has decided many literary movements in other languages. For their creative work in their literature, they tend to follow the movements in England. It is a primarily medium of culture, science, and technology nowadays. So now we are dealing with English, the international language. So English is native language of Britain, USA, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, and many African countries. It is native language there. It is used as second language in many countries at intranational level, even at the international level. In such countries, it is used as instrumental language or lingua franca for formal education. It is used as regulative language for administrator and laws, as the case is in our countries. Our laws are made in English. Even the administration, the legislatures, even they are they are written in English. Our Supreme Court works in English. So it is the instrumental language in our country. The language which we speak, the English, though we call it Indian English, but it is not the accepted variety of the language like the American English or the Australian English. It is under process of development, and maybe one day it is accepted as a variety of English. So English enjoys potentiality for occupation and works a positive quality in commerce and business also. Not only this, it is used in creative and research work also in such countries like India. In India, English enjoys such status. India is the third largest publisher of books in English in the world. So now we can say that here, though it is not a variety of English, but Indian English is growing stronger and stronger with the passing of the time. Now, what is standard form of language? The standard language may be called just another variety of dialect. In English, there is a standard variety widely accepted all over the world. Standard language is another form of variety. It is just another type of language in the group of all the dialects of that language. But it is accepted as a standard variety. That is the difference. So in English, there is a standard variety widely accepted all over the world. Every language has a common core or nucleus which is present in all the varieties through a set of grammatical and other characteristics. So, what is a core of a language or what is the nucleus of a language? Those lexical qualities or grammatical qualities which are common or which are accepted by all the varieties of that language. And it is because of this similarity that all those dialects are bound as one family. If that core is absent, then the languages will not remain varieties, they will become different languages in themselves. So, American English, Australian English, African English, Canadian English, it has certain core elements, certain rules of grammar, certain lexical items, certain patterns, certain structures. They are accepted by all those varieties, by all those dialects. That's why they are the dialects of English. So it is for this presence that the name of that language is given to all that varieties of language. Generally, the varieties associated with the educated users of the language in the native country is called the standard language or standard dialect of that language. In the native language, the educated section of society, people related to education, related to academia, as they use the language, that type, that form is regarded or is accepted as standard form, and then it is accepted by everybody who use that language. In all the non-native countries, that standard variety is followed. However, it is not followed exactly because the use of language in practice is not the exact copy of the standard form. Even a particular dialect may acquire the status of prestige dialect, which is accepted and followed by speakers of other dialects. So, people of other dialect, they will have to follow that standard variety, or they will try to be as near as possible to that standard variety. That is the main point, that though standard form of a language is in itself a variety, but it is accepted to be the standard. Standard English is the variety which was used by southern British people who were the educated speakers of the language at that time. So the standard variety of English is the dialect of those people who were living in southern Britain at that time. This standard form was used even in writing and in public usage, including radio and television. Sometimes it is also called BBC English or the Queen's English. There is certain variation in BBC English and Queen's English and the southern variety, southern dialect. But these things are these things are followed by the users of English everywhere. They try to follow the BBC English, they try to learn the Queen's English, and if there is any doubt regarding the correctness in use of a language, the checking is done on the basis of the standard form. How the southern people, the BBC, use English. It is not that standard English is better or more grammatical than any other dialect of English. The standard English gain prestige for again social and political reasons rather than linguistic reasons. It was the language used by the educated people living in the southeast of England, where the important institutions of government and education were established at that time. So, in that part, there were many offices, government offices, and educational institutions. So, the language used there by those people who were more advanced in education in comparison to other people, that language became the standard English. It is called RP or the received pronunciation in India. Why? Because we receive the standard form of English from that part. We try to follow what we have received. So it is received. This received pronunciation or RP is the pronunciation capital for British English. So this form of English we use in India. And this is how the standard form of English has come to us. Now, the American dialect, it has its own standard form and it follows that form. It does not try to copy the received pronunciation, the RP, the BBC English. No, the American English is slightly different from this standard form, but still it has that core, the common core, for which it is still related to, connected to English. The day when it will have its own fully independence, it will become a different language. So thank you students, thank you for our this class, and stay safe, take care of your health. Thank you.